Why should you join the Livingston County Republican Party?
Why, you ask?
Yeah, why?
Why join?
The Republican Party is the party of common sense.
Common sense.
Republicans support the Constitution.
Republicans protect your rights.
We fight to keep your children safe.
We fight to keep boys and men out of girls and women's sports.
We fight to keep boys out of girls' restrooms.
We fight for you.
What does the Republican Party do?
We help Republican candidates get elected.
Why is it important to elect Republicans?
Why is that important?
Why?
Tell me, why is that important?
Livingston County is one of the safest counties in Michigan.
Livingston County has one of the lowest crime rates in the state of Michigan.
Livingston County has the lowest tax millage rate of all 83 counties.
Republicans work to balance the budget.
Republican legislators vote against raising your taxes.
Republican elected officials believe in transparency.
Republican clerks run elections with integrity.
Republican trustees protect your rights.
Republicans support our veterans.
Who can join?
If you are conservative, we want you in our party.
All conservatives are welcome at our table.
Join our activities.
Join the fun.
Become a member.
Join us now.
Hi, I'm Deb Drick, Chair of Livingston County Republican Party. Our conservative message has been very well received in Livingston County, and I'm so happy to share with you that people are stepping up right and left to help. The only thing's missing is you. Come join our mission. Come join our fun. Go to livingstonrepublicans.com and click join. You'll be glad you did.
All rise for this week's Judicial Minute with Christopher Candela.
Hi everyone, I'm Christopher Candela, and I'm running to be your next Circuit Court Judge here in Livingston County. As an avid outdoorsman, this week we're talking about major changes to Michigan's hunting laws, recently approved by the Michigan Natural Resources Commission. Starting this year, the limited firearm zone is gone. Hunters in the Lower Peninsula can now use legal rifles, including bottleneck cartridges, statewide during the firearm season. Then in 2027, the new one buck rule takes effect, limiting most hunters to 1 buck per season. A pilot Earn a Buck program may also allow some hunters to harvest a second buck with 4 points or more. For a full breakdown, visit the news and events section on my website at CandelaForJudge.com. And remember, vote Candela for Circuit Court Judge in the August 4th primary.
I'm an attorney who goes to work every day to fight for our community and defend our Constitution. My name is Christina Like, and now I want to be your next Circuit Court Judge. And that means ensuring our constitutional rights are protected, protecting the innocent lives of our children, making decisions based upon rule of law and not politics, making court more affordable, and always placing the people first.
Whoops, caught me. Oops, sorry about that. Hello. Welcome to the May 19th. We're halfway through May 2026 Right Side Podcast. For anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Deb Drick. I'm the chair here in Livingston County Republican Party, and I'm excited to introduce our new intern here. Many of you have known Tyler, who's been with me. Tyler had to work nights, and we miss him, boo-hoo. But the good news is we have Caleb Raymond, who is from Fowlerville, correct?
Yeah.
Fowlerville, and he's stepped up, and he started coming to some events and has enjoyed it. So I invited him to kind of sit with me on Tuesdays and do the Tyler-like things, and he's doing a good job so far. So, Caleb, tell everybody about you.
Well, I got into politics in 2020 during the COVID lockdowns. I'm 16. I go to Cheryl Stockwell Academy in Brighton, public charter school.
What grade are you in there?
I am in 10th.
Okay.
A sophomore at Cheryl Stockwell.
Okay. And you've lived in Fowlerville your whole life?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of things do you do when you're not doing politics?
Well, I like being outdoors. Just really anything outdoors.
Okay.
I like staying active.
Okay, and you've done you've helped out Brian Ignatowski a little bit here and there, I understand, and
yeah.
You've done a little work with him, and That's good. Well, we certainly appreciate that. He's one of our priorities here in the party. So,
Definitely.
what do you have any kind of ideas on what you want to do when you? I understand you're quite the statistician.
Yeah.
I
enjoy statistics.
And I have a hard time wrapping my brain around that sentence. I just don't know many people who would say that. You enjoy statistics. Have you thought about using it politically? I mean, helping candidates with their probabilities and their.
Yeah, I have. I have looked into that. For definitely Brian, looking into
good.
his district statistics and how it breaks down by Republican, Democrat, Independent,
All right.
left-leaning, right-leaning.
Wow, terrific. Okay, and what you have any ideas of what you want to do when you get out of school, etc.?
I definitely want to go into the trades. I'm looking into logisticals.
Okay.
Of like truck driving. I enjoy driving.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Do you have a college you want to go to, or a trade school, or is it?
Not at the moment.
Not at the
I'm
moment.
still
Okay.
thinking.
Well, you got a couple years, so that's good news. All right. Well, welcome, Caleb, and I'm, so now everybody has a face. So when I say Caleb's typing that or Caleb's helping that out, then we now know who Caleb is. So we're gonna pause here. We're gonna go to commercial, and then we're gonna bring on our first guest, Brian Ignatowski. Be right back.
Someone once said, "Where your treasure goes, there also will be your heart." What kind of world do you want to invest in? Do your investments fund industries that tempt people to harm relationships? What if you could be more intentional with your money? What if your investments built content that enriched others' minds? Jason Huntley, CFP, has been guiding families for 30 plus years to plan, invest, and build for the next generation. Scan the QR code now to make that first step to investing intentionally.
And this time we have our first guest, our favorite 48th District candidate, Mr. Brian Ignatowski. Welcome, Mr. Ignatowski. How are you today?
I'm well, Deb. Thank you, and thanks for having me on tonight.
Oh, glad to have you. Glad to have you. Talk to us. It's been a couple months since you've been here. What you been doing? How's the campaign going?
Campaign's going great, and we are knocking a lot of doors. We are very excited. I'm very excited to talk about our fundraiser that you are helping us plan for June 10th. And a lot of exciting things going on. This is now officially the third podcast that I've been on. So
awesome.
I'm happy to be here tonight with you.
That's right. You were on. You went to Russ's to Jackson County, correct?
I did. Yep. I've been spending a lot more time in Jackson. When you file 14 months earlier than the first time you ran for something, you can get a lot more time with people.
A little more mileage.
A little bit more time on the windshield. And so
awesome.
That was a good experience. And we had a nice conversation.
What was different about theirs? I went on that podcast too once. It was unsettling for me, but it was fine. I enjoyed it, and I love Russ, but it was it took me a little bit to get in the groove because I'm so used to doing it live, and theirs is recorded. So, and they don't answer any of their comments.
Yeah, they had a couple comments on there, but when I watched it, it went fine.
Sure,
I thought it was great.
Sure.
But when I watched it, it was very different to see the backdrop. They had like the bald eagle on there, and you had Russ sitting next to me, and then his son was in front of me talking, and then they put it all together.
The cameras do that thing. Yeah, I've thought about doing that, but but it just doesn't, it didn't work. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we got our little backdrop here, and I see my curtain fell off my sink. So
It was
We'll
very
fix that
very
on
well
break.
done. It was just it was a little
Yeah.
different, and then they're gonna have little clips, and I'm excited to see how they clip those
Sure.
things up, because those are the things that people put in their reels.
That's
and
right.
all the other.
That's right.
I mean, there's so many different social media things that people do. So
Yes.
yeah, it was good. It was
Good.
all good experiences.
Good. All right, what do we got over here? We've got greeting from the great city of Highland Park, which is awesome, Wayne County. Mark Ashley Price, who never misses a show. And then I do have amazing guests. Yes, I do. And then Karen Burkowski, what an awesome young man Caleb is. We are lucky to have him, and I agree we are. So, okay. All right. So, let's talk about your fundraiser, and I'm going to bring this bugger up here. And we have the corrected version.
Okay.
Yes, I know. I have to get that out because I put the wrong version out. On Wednesday, Wednesday, June 10th, we are having, you know what? Just humor me here. Just make sure I did this right.
That is definitely the right flyer.
I know, but why can't I see that?
As you would say, 1100
1100 versions. Yes, I know.
That's the one, though.
That's the one.
That is
Okay.
the one.
All right. Wednesday, June 10th, over at this fabulous winery. I mean, you have to come to help Brian, right? You have to come. But you need to come anyway just to see this place. This is the coolest place. He's got like 70 acres there. Now, I'm hoping we fill the 70 acres, but in the off chance we don't, we'll still get to have a great time. He's going to have a tent, or we're going to put up a tent, or somebody's going to put up a tent. We have appetizers and music, and it'll be their delicious wines and things that there'll be a cash bar there. So we have some wonderful sponsorships here. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let me help you Let me help you see what's going on here. So we have some sponsorships there. You can see them. The Chardonnay sponsorship, the Merlot sponsorship, and the Cabernet sponsorship, of course. And $100 a person. This is vital for Brian to get elected. This is his big fundraiser. So this is going to put his signs up. It's going to do the mailings. It's going to do all the things you need to get elected.
Yep, we did get. I played phone tag today with my friend Jan from the South Lyon area Republicans, and they're gonna do something more than the 100. Probably not quite the Chardonnay, but we'll take any help that we can get. So, and I would definitely love to highlight the fact that Annabelle Sharp. Take a minute to talk about that, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I asked her, I said, I'm very supportive of you and your music. She's also a firefighter, so she's a first responder. I ran into her at the hardware store, and I said, Annabelle, I've been meaning to call you. It's such an awesome, not a coincidence that I see at the hardware store. And I said, I'd really like to talk to you about coming in to do our music. I would love to support you. And she goes, well, I would like to support you as well. So whatever money you were going to give from your campaign or from personally to pay for her, she said, I would like you to pick one or two charities and we will donate the money to them on our behalf. So we're going to be writing a $250 donation to Habitat for Humanity for Livingston County, and then another $250 to the Livingston County Catholic Charities, which I'm Catholic, but you do not have to be Catholic to receive them, receive assistance. So I thought that was a really great thing that she was willing to do. And, whether it's from me or from the campaign, those people will be getting that $500.
Okay. All right. Well, so this is Scott Greenlee in the house. Let's go, Brian. Hi, Scott.
What's up, Scott?
Glad to see you. So this is going to be a great event. So tell us, like, kind of talk to everybody who hasn't maybe run a campaign before or been involved. What kind of expenses do you have?
Well, you mentioned signs.
Yeah.
Signs are a big one. So, that drives up name ID. I mean, I know you talk about that in your candidate training classes, and how important it is to get the name out there. You just think, oh, because you've sold a few thousand water softeners in the last 20 years, that everybody in the town knows who you are. That is absolutely not true.
Well, even if it was, you're
yeah.
not just you're way out of, you're not even out of town. You're out of the county. You're
Yeah.
in 2 other counties, so they haven't bought water softeners, many
Yep.
of them. So
Yeah, we got to get the word out
We
there.
do.
So signs are a big one, but the main 2 things that many people, and you've mentioned this, of course, in your training, and when it really boils down to it, somebody that I know has run a lot more campaigns than I have, our Congressman Tom Barrett, as he so eloquently puts it, 2 things win elections: dollars and doors.
Yep.
How many people you knock on their door, and how much money that you raise. Now, from the last election, I would definitely like to point out that we were outspent by almost $500,000. But what we made up, what we lacked in fundraising, we made up in grassroots. We knocked on a ton of doors. We went to a ton of festivals. We went to a lot of parades and a lot of different things to get our message out there. And a lot of people asked me after the election, they said, I didn't really connect the 2 and 2. I mean, I'm 43 years old, but weird to think I'm going to be in a couple weeks, if I make it, 44, and I was 42 when I ran the first time. So we started a lot sooner. We've raised a lot more money. We're going to raise a lot more money. Everybody has offered and pledged a lot of support, but we need to take that really essentially to the bank and ask people to put their money where their mouth is.
Yes.
And if you want to help me, buy a ticket.
this
Go
is
on
the way
our
to
website.
do. I'm
Get
gonna
signed up.
I'm gonna raise this one more time, and as soon as that goes down, there we are. So now we have that nice QR code. Everybody, get out your phones and take a or get a screenshot of that and get on top of that. That takes you right to the fundraiser, and you can sign up right now. We're a month. We're a little less. Actually, we're less than a month away. We're 3.5 weeks away. So we really need people to start signing up now. And this is not just Livingston County. It's Livingston County, Washtenaw County, and Jackson County. So if you're watching from anywhere, this is a flip. Just so we are really clear, this is a flipped seat. This is a seat that has to turn. This is not where it's an open seat that was a Republican and now we're putting another Republican. No. This is a Democrat seat. It was new. It's a new during the last reconfiguration. What do they call that?
Apportionment.
No. There's a what do they do every 10 years? They do the redistricting. During the last redistricting, they created this 48th district, and it's new and it's been held by a Democrat. So we're not just taking an open seat. What we're doing is we're flipping a Democrat seat.
Yep.
Must have.
Yep.
Go talk to the Democrat or the Republicans in Lansing and tell us, let them tell you how important it is that we take this seat. So we must take this seat. Jennifer Conlon is awful. Did you see what she did? Hang on, wait. Here's Karen.
Yeah, a
Karen
voting
Bukowski.
record is public.
Hold
and
on.
need to.
Conlon the con has to go. Tired of her lying about her bipartisan stance. She's as radical as they come. She voted against her own stinking bill.
I saw that.
Oh my
yeah,
God!
I saw that.
What on earth? Who
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
this? Is Washtenaw County. This is your rep.
If you
Oh
think
my
that,
gosh.
if you think that, one thing I will tell you, most people don't realize that 2 townships and a village in Livingston County, one of the most conservative counties in the entire state of Michigan, has a very, very extreme, Democrat with a voting record that says, arguably speaking for maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people out of 92,000, the voting record of illegals should have driver's licenses. There's a receipt for that. Red flag laws, unconstitutional, take people's guns away. She has a voting record for that. She voted 3 or 4 times for a 6% tax cut for data centers to come in and spend $250 million. And really just, again, a voting record that just is very extreme.
It's atrocious. Yes.
Very extreme.
Yes. Yes, and then, like I said, then she votes against her own vote. Who does that? I worked in that legislature through 3 governors. I don't ever remember seeing that.
Yeah,
That's just
that's
horrible.
pretty wild.
That's wild.
And,
that's right.
What was that bill even for? That was.
If you start talking about it, I'd be able to finish the sentence, but
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head. But
I know that's been going around Facebook. And again, not everybody knows who their state rep is.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows how they
Yeah.
vote. If we haven't mentioned it already, the way that you do not have to live in the 48th district to help flip a seat. There's just a handful
right.
of seats in 110 state house districts. There's just a couple of them that are flippable, and we proved that it was winnable with not a ton of money, but a ton of support. And we need your help. So Brian48.com, go on. You can register for the event. You can pay for your ticket. You can buy people's tickets and reserve that way. You can sign up, and we really need your support. And you don't have to live in the district again to support and help us flip the seat.
okay, well, let me get this on the screen here. Here we go, Brian48.com, and that's where you can reach. You can read everything or donate or whatever you want to do. So now we have also, let's see, Karen says that Conlin is for the pro-Palestine encampments on U of M campus. She supports Nestle dropping the charges against the anti-Semitic radicals on campus. Oh my God. Yeah, so this is, and you know what's embarrassing for me? It's really embarrassing as a chair, even though I worked, but the fact that I love telling people that we don't have, that every partisan race in Livingston County is won by a Republican. The one that just fries me is hers, because I can't say that. She technically is out of the county too. So I mean, our counties our county people are all Republican. The only Democrats in office in our county are the nonpartisans. They slide in there. And I'll tell you something, I would love to work on a bill next year that a citizens initiative that takes all nonpartisan stuff out, maybe judges, but everything else should be partisan.
Well,
you should know where people stand.
I got to tell you, and I would love to say this, thank you for believing in my race in 2024. Rob, the work that you guys did, you guys invested $5,000, which is the maximum that a county party is able to contribute. And I would thoroughly encourage any counties really, but all the county chairs in our district, the 48th district, to maximize the ability that we can to raise the money. And look how close we got.
I don't think 5,000 is the limit.
I thought it was. I thought it was 5,000.
I think we've looked into it. I think it is not. So
okay.
Yes,
well,
there's a bigger limit than that. So
whatever we are able to do, we need to do that. Because look how close we got last time. So now we're started earlier. We're doing everything that we need to do. And you've got a great team. Boy, you got a bunch of volunteers working with you every single day. Every day.
I see the pictures and love seeing that. I mean, because if you don't have volunteers, if you don't have people that believe in you, you have a hard time. Conlin purposely admits the word Democrat when she campaigns in Livingston County. She can't defend her radical votes. No, she cannot. You are correct. And she's a fraud lurking around the chain of lakes now. That's true. She needs, she sees you coming out there and making headway, so she's going to try and come here and try to get you out of there. So
well, we love going into Ann Arbor, to Barton Hills. I mean, I'm a normal, middle class. I've always had a dream of just being a middle class small business owner. And when you work really, really hard for your money, and our taxes keep going up, you get more involved. You go to school board meetings, you go to township meetings, and you see the disconnect, and then you just go out and talk to people. And I believe.
What are you hearing? Yeah, tell us what you're hearing out there.
I'm knocking on people's doors. I'm asking them, what is the most important issue for them, and it's affordability. And I can tell you that not everybody in government is out of touch with what the average person is feeling, but there are definitely some more out of touch than others. And at the end of the day, people want tax cuts. That was another one that I encourage people when I'm asking them, do they know who their state representative is? Do they know how they vote? And I was actually at somebody's house last week, and they're involved in a nonprofit. And I asked them, I said, do they follow the legislature? And she said, my husband is a little bit more in tune with things politically. She goes, I really wish that he would have been here for you to meet him, because he would just love to hear what you have to say. And the bill number came up, and I think she even wrote it down, and it was 4170. It was a permanent income tax cut. And I said, well, I think you should know that your representative voted against that. And she said, I'm definitely going to tell my husband about that. And she says, I'm going to look that up. And she goes, I feel like we're going to be voting for you because you would have voted yes on that tax cut, and the current representative voted against the tax cut. So pretty simple on its face.
I would love to get in front of a group of non-political people, and I don't know, there's got to be a way to do this, because I would love to sit down. I used to do that in Leadership Livingston. There was a new group every year, and we used to have a state and local politics day, and I would start off by talking about Democrats and Republicans, and I wouldn't sell one or the other. I would just explain the principles. And I remember clearly many, many times where I would have people that thought they were Democrat in there until I started explaining, what was important and what wasn't. And they started thinking about it, and they said, well, gosh, I don't think that way. That's not what I feel is important. So it's amazing. But I really feel, especially as it just, people vote like they do groupthink, and that's got to stop. All your neighbors vote one way. You live in Washtenaw County. Everybody votes one way. It must be you too. And if people stop and look and who they're voting for, and what they stand for.
Yeah, we have a lot more in common. And again, anybody that's ever considered running for an office, I encourage you to have a conversation. Reach out. I mean, the class that you teach, Deb, it's such a good, really just a barometer if somebody's thinking about doing it. But one thing that you just said made me remember knowing the data on your district. And I really think that it's to educate people that have no idea about the 48th district. One reason why we put a map of our district on Brian48.com, I'd like to break down the data real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Over 1/3 of our district are independents. 34,000 people out of roughly 92,000 people in our state house district. Unfortunately, not everybody votes. We had record high voter turnout the last election, in the presidential election. There's 26,000 Republicans. Out of that 26,000 Republicans, about 50-50, whether they're very strong Republicans or less of a strong Republican. Out of the Democrats, there's 22,000 Democrats, and only 6,500 are hard Democrats. So the data shows this is
there's some swing in there.
There is, absolutely. And when I'm talking to people, when I'm asking them what's important to them at the door, they're not hyper partisan issues. People want to just go to work and raise a family, start a business, and really, when you think about all the regulations and the hurdles in government, I ask people, do they know how much a small business owner pays to the state of Michigan? It's $25 a year to have a limited liability corporation. And what do we give $25 a year to Lara for to have a small business? This isn't insurance. This isn't, you're not a doctor, right? You just have $25 that you give to them for what? It's just a tax. It's just a tax. And there's absolutely no reason that I can find, why I need to pay.
That's not even included in your income tax. I mean,
Nope.
it's over and above your income tax that you
Yep.
pay.
Just a fee.
Then there's all the employee taxes and all that other stuff, your workman's comp and all the stuff you have to do. That's crazy.
Yep.
It is. Well, let's see. Karen is actually going off on Conlon over here. You say Conlon to Karen, and that's it.
Well, she's
Out of
very,
town. Yes,
very
she is.
engaged. She's
Yes,
very
she is.
informed.
And I remember
she's very
this. Karen
knowledgeable.
was actually here when she said that the response for not wanting to permanently lower the taxes was, and she said this, we need all the money we can get.
When I'm campaigning, I say I need all the help that I can get.
I know.
And we need any tax relief that we can get as small business owners, as families, as the dream of being in the middle class and staying there. The answer is not more taxes and more regulation. It's the opposite.
No.
That's what will incentivize people to grow their business, to hire more people. And I would like to give a special shout out to probably we might be tied for first with the largest campaign contributor besides myself and my family is my coworker Trevor. He was a client of mine from years ago. He reached out and he was looking to make a career change, and he said, I really want to learn a skill or a trade. He left 20 years of being in the restaurant industry and almost 10 years running a steakhouse in Ann Arbor. And he used to live in Whitmore Lake. Now he lives in Brighton. And he said, I really want to help you win your race.
Good.
And
he can cook for our.
That's right.
He can make.
Well,
I need appetizers, Trevor. Go at it.
There you go. And he said, I really, really believe that you're going to win. And when you get elected, I want to help you run and grow your business when you're in office. And I said, well, the good news, Trevor, is good or bad, take it however you want. A state representative works 100. They have 100 session days a year.
Yep.
They have 2 months off in the summer. They have 1 month off in the winter. And I said, there's going to be time that I'll be able to help you with American H2O. But we are so excited to have Trevor because we had a plan in 24 that plan changed a little bit, but it didn't slow us down. We just reconfigured, and now we have somebody else full time. That's right there to help. So let's go.
Well, and I have need to kind of tweak your 2 months off notion. No,
there's no time off.
I mean, you have 2 months without session, but you're still having meetings in the district. You 100%. Still have constituents, so you still have to work. But it's
don't
just
take
not
that the wrong way.
Yeah.
Ask any small business owner how many days off a year they get. There are no
well,
days
and
off.
I will tell you this:
Zero.
I used to hear the nonsense. Oh, we need a part-time legislature, and I remember talking to a newspaper guy one time, and he was adamant. And I said, I listened to you complain recently about Republicans or Democrats or whatever rushing through a bill. What do you think happens when you only meet 3 months a year? No. Everything gets rushed through.
Yeah, we need more days and less pay and less benefits, but that's a conversation that we can talk about after November 4th.
We do. All right, what do we got here? Mark Ashley Price thinks Caleb is awesome. I agree. I hope this gentleman wins the election. He's also seen him on Mr. Russ's podcast as well. Are you cheating on me out there?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Hi,
Mark
Tiffany.
is watching Russ's.
Yep.
Hey, that's my. You stay in your lane over there.
I'm over
All
here.
right. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. How are you? Good to see you here. So yes, we're all rocking and rolling here. I am a little concerned because I know I have some people coming in here at soon, and they're not here. So I'm going to check my phone, but we're going to go to a commercial, and then we shall be right back. All right. So do not go away. We're not going away. You're going away.
That's right.
You'll be back here in just a minute. Let me find this. Welcome to the right side. And with me now is the brand new 7th District Chair, District 3, Livingston County Commissioner, Frank Sample. So welcome, Frank. You're very active in the American Legion.
Correct.
You're very active in the VFWs.
This ideology is very damaging to the students who are told if you get this surgery, and make do the social transition, the medical transition, then you'll be happy.
You'll be happy. Yes. Learned so much.
I'll bet. That's some institutional knowledge right there.
And we have, as a special guest, as I said earlier, we have Kevin Rinke with us. Welcome, Kevin. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Go Bode. Thanks, Kelly. There are no shortage of them. We love meeting new people.
Right, yes.
It's in good shape, so that's good news.
That safeness is not afforded to every citizen. They are special.
There's a difference between men and women. There's a biological difference, and it's time for us to stand up for our girls.
He went through, and he came back with a report said there's no way Detroit can meet its obligations on the tax base.
Yes.
So is this DEI focused just on the high school, or are they talking about all
district, the entire district?
Maybe that's kind of normal. It's really not. There tends to be little fiefdoms with different police agencies and police versus fire and fire versus EMS and blah blah blah. That's not the case here. So Livingston County is very fortunate.
Hey, not too long ago, in many of our lifetimes, Detroit was the third largest city in America.
Oh yeah,
3.2 million citizens.
It's been a great experience. I mean, I have no regrets about moving here.
There's an old saying that the road will get you elected, the jail will get you unelected. So, to give you an idea.
You have to have a reason to change for change to be enacted.
All rise for this week's Judicial Minute with Christopher Candela.
Hi everyone, I'm Christopher Candela, and I'm running to be your next Circuit Court Judge here in Livingston County. As an avid outdoorsman, this week we're talking about major changes to Michigan's hunting laws, recently approved by the Michigan Natural Resources Commission. Starting this year, the limited firearm zone is gone. Hunters in the Lower Peninsula can now use legal rifles, including bottleneck cartridges, statewide during the firearm season. Then in 2027, the new one buck rule takes effect, limiting most hunters to 1 buck per season. A pilot Earn a Buck program may also allow some hunters to harvest a second buck with 4 points or more. For a full breakdown, visit the news and events section on my website at CandelaForJudge.com. And remember, vote Candela for Circuit Court Judge in the August 4th primary.
Okay, we're back and we got all this other stuff. Here we go. Madam Chair, I am not cheating. It is not often I watch Mr. Russ because his podcast is during the midday. Okay, yes, thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate it. And I was just messing with you. Besides, I think his is recorded, so, right? It's not live, or is it live?
It's not live.
It's right, recorded, so you can watch his anytime. So, actually, mine's recorded too. You can always see mine on YouTube if you'd miss it, but.
Plenty of podcasts to go around, right?
Yes, there is. And I love Russ. Don't get me wrong. I'm teasing you. I love Russ, and I've been on that podcast myself, so it's just fine. So, well, what do you want to leave us with, Brian? Let me ask you something. What's your shtick in Lansing? Like, there's like 1,100 different ways you could go. Education, regulations, business, government reform. All kinds of different places. Veterans and first of all, do you want to be more policy or do you want to be more budget?
I mean, budget. I definitely have a passion for cutting taxes, and I looked up just the other day the committee that. Is involved. I know the Senate obviously is very involved, but we also have Ann Bolin on appropriations. So, really, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but wherever I can be that will have the most impact on cutting taxes, small business incentives. There's natural resources and tourism. I'm very interested in that. I'm definitely an outdoorsman. My hobbies have suffered. I don't, this is my hobby. I remind people, I do still work for a living. Water filtration is what pays my bills. My bills get paid and any of my extra money goes right towards my campaign. I would say, hopefully that answers your question, but I have a heart to serve people.
It sounds like you're more of a policy guy, but that you'll probably do a little pushing for the budgetary stuff because you can write tax cuts on you can support all that stuff from policy side too. But generally, and people in appropriations also write policy, but generally either you're more focused on budget or you're more focused on changing policy. And So it sounds like what you're looking for is more policy then. But like I said, anything, you do everything over there. And you have any interest in the educational reforms, or, I mean, obviously you're going to vote for that, but, or is that something you want to drive, or elections, or, I mean, there's so many different ways you can go there.
Well, we definitely need oversight. There's no question about that, because thousands of ghost employees, cutting in money for the budget for jobs that are there's nobody there.
The ghost, the ghost payroll.
That's a concern. I mean, I fully support Michigan State Police and law enforcement, but we don't give budgets when there's not employees for those positions. So oversight is extremely important. A big tip of the hat to Representative Wolford. Getting security measures like getting chips into bridge cards. You got SNAP benefits. You got these programs. There needs to be security. I mean, this is taxpayer dollars. This is not an unlimited piggy bank. We need to secure these things. So oversight's very important. We have businesses and families have to live within their means. Government's no different. In fact, we should really tighten things up to make sure everything's secure. Just like you said, with voting.
And you're right, Jason
elections,
Wolford is doing phenomenal work.
Amazing work.
He's just really focused on that.
I would love nothing more than to work with my friends Jason and Ann, Representatives Wolford and Bolin. A lot of really, really great work that's being done up there. That's the type of action that I'd like to help do my part and be involved in.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, gonna throw this on here one more time. Well, no, we're going to go here. So just one more time, want to go here, and I want to bring that up to see that nice little QR code there in the bottom. Grab onto that if you would, and send a donation for his fundraiser. Come if you can. It's going to be a great thing. I think it's going to be a wonderful turnout, and it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful winery, and it's someplace you ought to go and just check out anyway, because you're going to want to do stuff sometime, and that will be the perfect place. Gosh, I really loved meeting Jerry.
He's a great guy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Really, I mean, he's a client. He's been a friend for a long time. I think it's really incredible, the history. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Right.
There is a long, long history with this property. There's connections, I believe, to Brighton. It's been there for, it was like I think a barn dominium before a barn dominium was even a thing. I will mention for people that don't drink alcohol, we went there to the tasting room and did a little walk of the venue. And they have a non-alcoholic wine.
They do.
And I tried it because I was fasting. I was no alcohol, coming up to Easter, and it was really, really good. I was pleasantly surprised. So, be a designated driver if somebody wants to have a glass or two. Try the non-alcoholic wine. Come out and listen to some good music.
He's also got some hard ciders out there that I hear are pretty good too. So
yep, I haven't tried them yet, but I think I don't think I know it's going to be a really, really great event.
It's going to be great.
Thank you, Deb, so much for everything you're doing to make this a big success. We already have people registered and signed up. We're within a month now. And this is not going to be our last fundraiser or event, but it will be the biggest one. And I'm really looking forward to a great turnout.
We are too.
We need it.
Oh, wow. You said you had Tiffany
Had
at
me
Winery.
Winery. Let's go. Wine Wednesday, guys.
Wine Wednesday. That's
Let's
right.
go.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, Brian, thanks again for coming on. Stick around.
Thanks
Let
for
me get this out of here. Stick around. We are going to be right back, and we've got some more Heartland Crow-Main Library drama. We have a president and a trustee here to explain what's going on. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting. So hang on, and we'll be back as soon as I find a commercial.
Thanks, Dan.
I'm an attorney who goes to work every day to fight for our community and defend our Constitution. My name is Christina Like, and now I want to be your next circuit court judge. And that means ensuring our constitutional rights are protected, protecting the innocent lives of our children, making decisions based upon rule of law and not politics, making court more affordable, and always placing the people first.
Someone once said, "Where your treasure goes, there also will be your heart." What kind of world do you want to invest in? Do your investments fund industries that tempt people to harm relationships? What if you could be more intentional with your money? What if your investments built content that enriched others' minds? Jason Huntley, CFP, has been guiding families for 30 plus years to plan, invest, and build for the next generation. Scan the QR code now to make that first step to investing intentionally.
And we're back, and I have Dawn Smith and Janine Gogolewski. Dawn's a trustee with the Heartland Crow-Main Library. Janine, you are the president this year, I understand.
Yes.
All right, well, congratulations there. And we understand you got a little drama going on.
Often. Often. We have a lot of drama.
Well, let me say that. You have a little drama going on again.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, tell us what's going on over there.
Do you want to start, Janine?
I'll start. Okay, well, the biggest thing that we've been going on since September is a large book challenge before us. The board has been tasked with 220 books. The board had to decide to read the books and make a decision either to retain the books, to relocate the books, or to put a sexually explicit label on there. So it's been kind of going a lot with doing this. Each meeting, we're getting through about 10 a month, and it's just been quite contentious for some of the books that we're reading and going through right now.
Is it contention amongst the board, or is it contention between the board and the staff, or the board and the public, or both?
I would say all three.
All three.
Of the above. Yeah.
Okay.
All of the above. Contention with the public to just say, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And a lot of people are also thinking, oh, you're banning books. Relocating a book to a different section is not banning a book.
Labeling a book is not
labeling
banning.
a book is not banning a book. As a matter of fact, the bylaws and the rules that we're going by, the board voted to not remove any book from the library. The only person that can remove a book is the director.
Okay.
So that's kind of been a little contention there.
I remember Bill was here. We had Bill here, and he
Yes.
was explaining that, because I came to the meeting the first time you brought up the stickers, and me and 4,000 other people were there. And I sat there and I listened through the whole thing, and what happened was people were just fighting fights that didn't exist. It was like evidence not in, complaints not in evidence. It was horrible.
Correct.
It was we want to label books that are sexually explicit, and one person, you have no right to decide what my child reads.
Correct.
No, nobody's telling you what your child should read. We're labeling it so you can make that decision. Next one is, I work in the library and I feel safe here, and you're trying to take my safety away. What part of labeling books, is anyway? So it was just ridiculous. And Karen's saying it very well here, Karen Bukowski. There's a big difference between banning and curating. Thank you for everything you do. That's addressed at you.
Yeah, I think the reason that they keep calling it banning is just to stir up drama.
Yes.
And
Correct.
to get a lot of support
Yes.
and a lot of angst.
It's a soundbite that gets people worked up.
It's something to get people worked up, and they get all angry. And there are even people that have come to our meetings for Call to the Public and go, oh, I guess you're not doing that. So it's very confusing to the public that they keep saying that. So even like, for example, the MLA did a survey to support
MLA is
Michigan Library Association did a survey to show, oh, people don't want books banned. So we don't either. So they're using that as ammunition to say that, oh, look, these people are trying to ban books, because they did the survey on purpose. They didn't ask people whether it's appropriate to change where books are based on age level, whether it's okay to label them. They didn't ask that on purpose. They just asked about book banning, which we aren't doing.
Correct.
Tiffany Baird says to, hi ladies, spill the tea, haha. That's supposed to, that might be an inside joke there. Okay. Thank you for making a big deal about the local office, such as library board. Local office is most important in many ways. I agree 100%, Mark. Karen, oh, we already did that one. Yeah. So tell me what's going on like right now. Is it you're doing something with the MLA, or you're trying to change something?
Yeah. So
I'll let Dawn handle
Yeah.
it.
So I'll go after that one.
Oh, wait, can I ask a background here? How long have you been on the board, Janine?
4 years.
4 years,
Yeah, this is
and
our fourth year.
okay, fourth year
This is
both of you.
this is
Okay,
our
okay,
fourth
go
year.
ahead then. I'm sorry.
So I actually started looking at the MLA when I first was elected, because I didn't have any idea that it was partisan. So because
but wait a minute, they're not partisan.
Right.
Is what many people would
Right.
say.
So because we were at Crow Main Library, part of the budget was that the board members were actually members of the MLA. That's just what they would do all the time.
Okay.
So because of that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to call in, I'm going to listen to these Zoom meetings, I'm going to participate. And I was actually appalled at how partisan the MLA was. I wasn't expecting it. I was very disappointed. And I started complaining about it right away. If you go back and look at meeting minutes, or, if anyone video recorded it, I was complaining about it being partisan from the very beginning when I was listening. It got worse. It got worse as during the election year. It was really bad. They completely are one-sided, and it was, just something that I don't feel that the taxpayers should be paying for something that is that partisan. So I could, I kept bringing it up, and we actually finally voted to, in the new budget cycle, we were not going to go ahead and use taxpayer funds to pay for that.
A year ago.
A year ago.
And then our budget came up, and now we're not doing it.
Oh, good for you.
Right.
And you getting blowback from that, are you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Very
So
much
we have here some comments. Tiffany, I don't take my kids to the library because they aren't labeled appropriately. It's sad. It is, Tiffany. And more, someone needs to explain to me why the book Flamer is appropriate for my 10-year-old. Right? I have an example that I have prepared. I showed this about a year ago. I'll show it again. Anybody that didn't see it. Leftists have creeped their way into libraries, and they have become so radicalized. They use their positions to promote their own ideology. Truly despicable. That is true. And here's Heartland Voters. Thank you for covering this topic. Go ladies. Thank you for all you're doing. And I agree. I'll tell you something. We are having more and more, up until recently, how unheard of was it for anybody to really stand up in a library? It just didn't happen. And I think a guy did it in Howell, and was just, he had the hell beat out of him verbally for that. It was really ugly. And but he did exactly. He was a lone wolf. He was by himself. So it's very good that you guys have a majority now.
Yes,
So,
we do.
and I think that's the first time, or first time in a long time.
Yeah, but okay, so libraries are also nonpartisan as well. Okay, so it's a matter of looking at the bylaws, following the bylaws, and doing that as well. The biggest thing, when Dawn and I ran together 4 years ago, and we were accused right away for banning books, and to do that just because we're have certain values.
No, you're Republican. And let's settle something. Nonpartisan doesn't mean you don't have a partisan preference.
Correct.
It does not mean you're not
Correct.
Republican or not
Right.
Democrat.
Correct.
What it means, and all it means, is that there is no designation on the ballot. You are not in a Republican section or a Democrat section. It is in a nonpartisan section.
Correct.
But people think nonpartisan means non-political. Oh, no.
Right.
No, it just means that it's not on the ballot. So it is up to you as a voter or you as a candidate to explain to people, what are your values? Are you, there's nothing wrong with saying, are you Republican? Are you Democrat? Even if it's a nonpartisan, because that will tell you what their values are, right? Oh, look at this. There's a familiar name. Mr. Gogolewski. I've repeatedly asked these leftist agitators why it is so important to put books with adult sexual themes in front of children. Never is there an answer ever. You are absolutely right.
Correct.
And Tiffany says these inappropriate books are given awards by the ALA and MLA, and my tax dollars are funding these memberships that recommend these books to our library. No, thank you. Tiffany, that was very well said. Glenn, that was well said. So
Absolutely.
it's I'm gonna bring something up. I prepared this.
Okay.
For those of you who are out there thinking, oh, there's no porn in the library, these books you're making a big deal out of nothing, you are this, you are that, you are another. Let me see. Let me get my pictures here. Hold on here. I know it's here. That's a Drick article. Hold on. Where is it? Right here. Now, I'd like for you, we're gonna open this up, and I'd like for you to read these 2 paragraphs. Just skim through them. Caleb, don't look. Just look through those. Now, do you see them both? Interestingly enough, one of these paragraphs is from a book in a library that any child can pick up and read. And the other paragraph is from the Penthouse Forum. Tell me which one's which. You can't.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to give you a hint and tell you this. The worst one is the one that the kids can read.
Yeah.
And what I'm not showing, because I think I get banned, what I'm not showing is the graphic, cartoon-like images. And I mean graphic. I don't mean where you see a head and you see a body over there. I mean the actual graphic cartoon that is with that description that kids can pick up.
Correct.
So here we go. They cannot answer because the truth is they want to groom children. Yeah, I'd rather my kids read a Playboy than those books available. You know, well, the least of those 2 paragraphs was the Playboy, or was actually Penthouse. It was the Forum. So yeah, so it is so bad. Anyway, so that is my own research. So that isn't something I picked up or saw on a Facebook meme. I actually found those. That was one of them's out of Genderqueer, and one of them's out of that's available in all the libraries with the graphics, and the other one is from, like I said, a Penthouse Forum I found. So.
Well, I think they make this a partisan issue by saying we're banning books. Because if you actually looked at it, it doesn't really matter what your political affiliation is.
Right.
If you're a parent, there are a lot of parents, doesn't matter what your political party is, that do not want their kids to read these books.
Agreed.
So instead of saying we're going to label them, put them in the adult section, they say these people are banning books
to get.
So that's what they do.
And most people don't follow through to figure out that that's not what's going on.
Exactly.
Correct.
So, and the other thing is that, I lost it. I'm old. Go ahead. It'll come back in a minute. Keep going. There was another part to that I was thinking, but.
Well, one of the things too is we're getting a little frustrated too, because we have so many books to read in this this challenge that was then appealed. So we agreed, and we're having a hard time getting through them. So this has been, and the problem is while we're getting through them, these books are still available. So that's something that I'm having a personal, a lot of angst about, because as we've gone through them, we found books that should have been moved. So into the adult section. So I'm having a lot of personal, anxiety about that. And I actually voiced my concerns a couple months ago at the meeting, because of all these things that are in books that are harmful to children. So while we're going through this, these books are still sitting there.
Oh.
It's very hard too to see this, because you're reading these books, and we've read about maybe 60, 70 books, I believe, so far as a board, and to go through these and just to read them in general. Again,
you just feel like you got to go take a shower to wipe all that crap off you.
You're not banning them. And some of the books, some of the other board members have stated that these books are just feel-good stories. These are heartwarming stories. I do not feel that way.
No.
Just because a book, though, has two characters, no matter what they are, that doesn't mean that it should necessarily be relocated, in my opinion.
Sure.
Or it should be moved. So it should be retained, and some of these should be retained where they're at, and the board did vote that way. The interesting thing overall, though, is where some of these books are kept. So if they're in the children's section or if they're in the youth section, prime example was the book Flamer last month, and you can look it up online. All this information is online. I had read a passage. So what we do when we're voting on the books for a board, we have the opportunity to relocate, we have the opportunity to retain, or the opportunity to label. So it's like what the board will do is they'll give their reasons why in its full board discussion as to why you think it should be retained. Retained goes pretty quick. Why it should be moved. And prime example, book for Flamer, it was 4-2 as to being moved. Dawn wasn't at the meeting. So it's just interesting just to see that a book that has such graphic information, such words, and again, it's all online. You can hear what I read and what I said as well from the last minutes. And it's just, I guess I would say interesting. And the whole board has a vote on this as well. That's why we're elected to vote. I just find it disheartening to have to read all these books as well. So
and the other thing too is we're looking for explicit content, sexual content that's harmful to minors or excessive violence. But having had to read these books, which I wouldn't have read on purpose, it's very disheartening, and I think it's also a nonpartisan issue. A theme that's very common in these books that were challenged and appealed is they're targeted at a lot of times young children or teens. And a lot of the times the parent is the bad guy, like the parent's not accepting them for who they are. Like it's like they portray the parent as like the enemy, which do people really want that? And then there's also a lot of drinking, drugs, like things that I don't think the parents really want this. If they actually read the whole books themselves, would they want this book not moved? I find that if people actually read it, they'd be surprised, and we probably agree, most people. So I'm finding that is also a theme too, and I find it very disturbing. And it's also kind of like trying to teach kids, don't trust your parent, do this. Everybody needs an anxiety medication. I'm like, did pharma write these books? I'm like, where are they coming from that everybody's on an anxiety medication, even as a young child?
Yes.
I mean, people do have issues, but it's like a theme. And then they're acting like if you have anxiety, maybe it's because you're the wrong gender. Like this is a common theme, and I had no idea. And it's like, it's so weird that people are pushing this. That there's so many books with that in it.
I had Anne Marie Arbor on here one time, and we were talking about the whole issue in school of the boys here and the girls there, and where they don't belong. And Anne Marie said something that it just stuck with me. And what she said was, what really bothered her the most was the notion in the schools that I was coming from counselors and from teachers that if you just go through this therapy, if you just change, all your problems are going to go away. You're going to feel confident. You're not going to feel this way anymore. And that was the saddest thing I ever heard. And what I'm hearing is these books are also kind of indicating that. And I get school, the parents are too strict in a book here or there, but to make him the bad guy, that's just not right. Let's get some questions in here. I want to know, why are there so many books still not labeled? Because they only have 7 of them and they have to read them. So it really, wouldn't it? Seems to me, why don't you put some policies? If it says the word F in it 5 times, it's gone, or if it hasn't at all, move it over there.
Well, that's a good question. With the question, I want to know why so many of these books are still not labeled. A couple of years ago, it was determined by the board, and that too with policy 3010, which was the big policy that everyone discussed, to label books with a SI label,
Mhm.
a social issues. So these can be a very vast arrangement of books, not just it could deal with slavery, it could deal with any
Okay.
social issues, okay? The public was very adamant, oh, rainbow stickers. We're not sure if we want to do rainbow stickers and the whole thing. Although there's other libraries that have done rainbow
They
stickers.
do.
And Fowlerville was one, all in the
Yep.
newspapers. You know,
Yep.
different Howell. You know,
I looked
I'm
into
talking
it. I did.
local.
Mhm.
But it's just so at Crow-Main, the board voted for the policy to do the social issues labels. So it's interesting too that a lot of the books, unfortunately, still do not have social issues labels on there. They're working with it. It seems like it's been a little delayed, especially with the book challenge here and that too. But it's a matter of that was a way for parents to identify books in general. And we thought with building that policy, it would help everybody.
Right.
But
we wanted to make sure that it was non-stigmatizing.
Correct.
Because
Sure.
they're worried about people being picked on.
Sure.
If they like check out a book, they're like,
Right.
my kid will be afraid to be holding that book.
Right.
So we're not being judgmental of people. We just want parents to have the ability to choose the books that they want their kids to read. And the pushback that we get a lot of the time is, well, the parent is always with the child and they can help them pick the book.
Correct.
No.
Well, right.
As your kids gets older, that's going to be less and less.
Yes.
And to me, that is kind of stigmatizing. I was a single mom. Okay. I was a single mom. I had 2 jobs and I had 2 kids. There was no way I could pre-read
Nope.
every book that my kid wanted to read. So you may have time, people
That's
that are
right.
super progressive, to sit around and read every book that your child has. A lot of people don't because they're working and they have other things to do. And there's nothing wrong with giving parents the ability to choose what they're reading.
Right.
They're giving their kids to read without having to read the entire thing. That's just not common sense.
And that's the perfect segue to Mr. Gogolewski in his typical form. No books are being banned. You have the right to be as reckless and irresponsible of a parent as you want to be. You just don't have the right to force others to this exposure. Well said, Glenn. Let's see, we got over here. Oh boy, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Where'd we go? Okay. Karen Burkowski, when does the pornographic material given to children become an actual violation of laws? I will tell you that day. The day that Republicans take the House, the Senate, and the governor's office. Boom.
Right.
Believe me, this will be in the first 6 months.
Yeah.
Because that's something that's really important. So where are you here? Tiffany, these books may mean anxiety medication, as they do.
Yeah, sure.
Purposely used as a tool to corrupt young minds. Sad. I agree with you. I agree. It's sick. So someone isn't doing their job. Is that what I'm hearing? Not on the board, but people work in the library. Well, my friends' kids walk to the library after school every day, so that's just not reality. And I'll tell you something. I was saying this to, I think, Bill or Wes or somebody here when we were talking about this issue some time ago. It used to be my kids would come to me, you know, my kids grew up in downtown Howell, and they would come to me and say, Mom, can we go up to hang out downtown? No. Mom, can we go hang out at the park? No. Can we go to the library? Sure. Walk over to the library, you know, it's 8 blocks away or whatever, they would walk. And geez, now if I had kids now, I think I'd just as soon send them uptown or to the park, you know. Wow, that is that's just crazy. So I remembered my notes here. The funny thing is, we're talking about they're fighting labels. You know that those two passages I have, one of them being from the Penthouse thing, that's labeled. That's labeled. That's behind a counter where a kid can't get to it. You have to show ID to get it, and it's clearly labeled what it is. So I mean, why not the same type thing in a book? Why not in a library?
The thing is too, just okay, so to make it very clear, when a book is moved, let's say from teen to adult or what have you, even a 4-year-old can check out a book from the adult section. So just by moving a book, it's not being banned, it's not behind locked glass as people have accused us of. It's a matter of anybody can check out that book. If a 4-year-old wants to check out that book, they can check out that book with their parent. So it's not a matter of making it harder for kids to find or what have you. It's a matter of anybody can check out a book from anywhere.
And that makes
in the
me
library.
ill. That makes me
Right.
ill. That, you know,
Mhm.
I mean, why? I guess let me ask you this. Well, I guess it makes it easier. I wonder why somebody under 18 would be allowed in an adult section.
That's just how the
Well,
library
that's
is.
right.
But the odds are, unless they're searching for those books, they probably wouldn't.
Right.
But to me, it's like, it's okay if those books are moved to the adult section, because then if the parents want their kids to read it, they can go
can.
help them find it.
They can
Yeah.
find
It shouldn't just be
yes.
free for all in the children or teen section for them to go and get on them, you know, by themselves. At least if they're moved to adult, it's more likely that an adult will be with
So
them.
here's a question.
If they
Can-
really want them to read that.
Can a kid check a book that's labeled like that? Can a 11-year-old check a book like that out without their parents? That's labeled sexual content or whatever.
Well, I believe
I'm
currently.
sorry. What was? I'm
If
So
they-
I 11-year-old walks over to the adult section, picks out the book you were talking
Yeah,
about. Can he
and-
go check it out, or
and
does
if-
he have
and
to have
if-
his parent?
Well,
Something labeled.
if you were just to go to a kiosk and use your card, I'm sure that would work.
There's no when that
Yeah.
label.
Yeah.
There's no code
Right.
that could.
There's no right.
But the kids have to have permission from their parents to check out books anyway.
Right.
So
Right, but
hopefully-
but
Mhm.
well, the
Right.
parents say okay, and then they go in there and they
Right.
check
Right.
that out. Oh my
Right.
God!
Yeah.
And they end up hiding it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Tiffany saying the same thing. Self-scanning kiosks.
Mhm.
They, you know, those. It seems to me that there could be a code on
Like a
that
code,
thing
yeah.
that beep beep beep, you know, whatever.
Right.
You know, has the siren, makes the kid feel stupid and run. That sounds good to me. You are right, but this is not effective. You 3 women talking with no power, 9 people listening. You think there's 9 people listening? I've got 4 sites up here. We'll be at over 600 before the night's up. You 3 women talking with no power, 9 people listening. I appreciate the discussion, but you're talking to no one. There's 8 people here. It's a real problem, but that isn't helping the problem other than making me feel better. Well, Amanda, you are like could not be more wrong. There's we usually go 600-700 views. We're on like so many sites. That 8 is just somebody watching it on one little that's our internal thing. No, trust me, it's not just 8 people.
I do
Sorry
appreciate.
to make you not feel better.
I do appreciate that though, because it is a struggle. It is a struggle to do things within the law, because we also have a fiscal responsibility, to make sure that we're spending the library's dollars appropriately.
Correct.
So we have to make sure we do things within the content of the law.
Yeah.
So the First Amendment's always reign supreme.
Mhm.
However, the things that the American Library Association says are law are not.
Okay.
So if you just read the ALA, like, you know, reading rights or whatever, those are not law. So at first, when I became a library trustee, I thought that they were based on case law. They're not.
Right.
They're just some guidelines that the ALA came up with. And of course, the MLA goes along with it. And they don't want any labels on any books at all, even reading level. So they're kind of psychotic about that. But that's not the law. But we have to be careful what we do. You know, you can't segregate books to
Right.
be discriminatory. We're not going to ban a book because I actually really strongly feel very
No.
strongly about the
Right.
First Amendment. I would never
Right.
ban a book.
Mhm.
I don't believe in censorship in that manner,
Right.
but I do believe in age appropriateness. So
I agree.
Very much. Very much.
Very
people
much.
can and people can read whatever they want to read, whatever age, 97, 4 years old. But it's a matter of age appropriateness in the correct areas. I think is very important for parents to help identify that, and that is the biggest issue here. So for parents to help identify.
And the problem that we've been getting and the pushback that we've been getting from the very beginning is people that are extremely progressive don't want to compromise very much. They don't want anything. They want to go by the way the ALA says, don't
Right.
label anything. It's a free-for-all. Flamer can be anywhere. They really don't have a spirit of like common sense and compromise, in my opinion. So it's very difficult to try to make sure that everyone feels comfortable coming to the library, not just people who want their kids to read those books. That's the problem that we have.
Sure.
So the interesting thing with labels is there's labels in the library that'll say like mystery, that'll say graphic novel, they say other things like this as well. But it's interesting where yes, some people are saying, well, let's just go back to the Dewey Decimal System. Maybe that's a way to do it too, is just to do it that way. But a matter to not to label anything and just to put things anywhere in the library is not a good idea.
It's not responsible.
It's not, in my opinion,
it is not
either.
responsible.
Right.
You know, this is, I mean, it just blows my mind that people would, 10 years ago, if somebody would have told me that we would be actually really literally fighting with people over a boy being allowed in a girl's bathroom, a boy being allowed in a girl's sports, and sexual content open to all kids, I'd have told them they were crazy. I'd have asked them what planet they lived on. It's just nuts. So let me see what we got here. Picking up Amanda again saying she hopes she's wrong. Amanda, we had our stats, just so you know, we had our stats done by our statistician, and in August if we just continue to grow at the rate we have, which is growing all the time, we will hit 1 million views in August, just so you know. So you are incorrect. I know this is misleading, this little hearts up there. That's just an internal thing that they're just watching, but it's on 3 Facebook channels and a YouTube channel right now. So we're live all over the place. All right, so I need to say all 3 of you are so powerful, strong, and well-respected. Well, thank you, Tiffany. Back at you. Let's see. Awareness and discussion is what brings real change. Yes, you are correct, madam. All right, let's see where we are here. And we're back at Heartland Voters. So happy Cromaine is finally breaking away from the LA. Great job. Absolutely. And here comes Mr. G. If you are a parent that actually cares about what's put in front of your children, show up to the meetings and support the ones fighting for your kids. And that is absolutely well said, because they are fighting for your kids. They are. They're fighting for, if you want your kids to read that, nobody's going to stop you. Go take them in there, pick it out, hand it to them, read it to them if you want. Ew, but okay, do that. But if you're, nobody's taking that away from you. But for me, my kid, I would look at a sticker and say, what are you doing with that? What does it matter with you? Go to your room. Give me that. And, I'd run it back there very, very fast. So it's commend them as well, but want effectiveness. Not sure what that means. Okay.
Well, keep trying. We've been trying since we got in.
Yes.
So.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Right.
Well, it's happening. Amanda, so for the you want effectiveness, they've started labeling those books. I mean, you got to go through them all. But I'm back to my statement here. Wouldn't there just be some kind of policy that takes all the subjectiveness out? Right now, you guys are getting caught up in subjectiveness. I think this, I think this. Can you agree on a policy that says if you say, if it has these words, if it has this content, it goes here. If it doesn't, it goes here.
I honestly don't think that would work. Because there's so many words that are used and they change all the time. I think if you put that out, then they'd write the books differently. I mean, this is how subversive these books are.
No, I'm talking about within your group, within, the battle. At 10 books a month, it'll be 3,000 before you get, it'll be forever. So isn't there like a policy that you guys could agree on so then the staff can do it? According to policy?
That is why we're going through this right now. Because the when you're going through at Cromaine, the book challenge was, so these books went to the director. The director is the one that responds back. All this information and every letter that went for every book that's challenged, if you look in the September 2025 additional documents for Cromaine Library, you'll find all of the information there. So what happens is if a patron has challenged books, they're not happy with what the director says, they're not happy with the decision, then it comes before the board to vote. So then the board has the right to vote, and again with working with policies and doing this. So now it's the board's chance to vote either to retain.
So you're not just randomly going out and finding them. You're responding to challenges.
We're responding to a 200
groundwork. Laying some groundwork is not a bad idea. Okay, so I've jumped in the middle of a conversation.
So we are responding to a challenge.
Got it. So you're not just going through every book.
Right.
Got it. Anyone who cares about this topic needs to show up at the next board meeting. Thus Thursday. I'm thinking thus Thursday.
This Thursday.
Somebody hit Brian's Winery a little soon. All right, so this Thursday, what time is it?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock this Thursday. All right.
We do want to state here as well that we are speaking, although we're on the board for Cromaine as well. Everything that's stating is just stating that I'm not speaking for the board.
Right.
Okay, we are not speaking for the board. I want to make
I don't
that
think.
very
Yeah, you've
clear.
not.
We're
You've not.
speaking
You've
for the
not
board.
said anything
Anything
that says that.
hasn't been
And we're
out
just
there
saying facts of what's actually
that
going
actually
on.
has happened. So
Yep.
So-
And you're talking about your own opinion, which you're allowed to do.
So some of the pushback, if people are wondering about why the labeling is slow to go, some of the pushback that we've gotten from the employees, which is valid, is they were trying to figure out how to start labeling these books and where to go with it. So they're confused and they're like, we don't have time because we have other stuff to do, which I get. They are busy. We have great kids programming. We have great,
Outstanding.
very good employees at the library. The director's actually a very good director. So the pushback was, we didn't have time. Here's the issue with that. It doesn't take rocket science to figure out which of these books are social issues. They're marketed that way. If you just look them up on Amazon, they're advertised that way. The authors write them that way. The reason you ordered them is because they're social issues.
Right.
So this is not rocket science. I mean, I'm sorry. We get a lot of pushback that we don't have a master's in library science. You do not need a master's in library science to figure out what genre a book is. You don't. It's not that hard. So it doesn't matter. This all trust the expert stuff is hogwash. Anybody can figure out, and actually it should be the community standard.
Right.
And the community standard is the community standard of Heartland.
That's right.
Heartland and our other areas that we, support, that our library, our constituents and our patrons are from. So this is the standard, not the standard of what people would think in some crazy place. California. Right. This is the Heartland area and our surrounding areas that are patrons of our library.
And it should reflect your community. It should not.
Absolutely.
It should
so
not
stop
be,
telling me that you have to have a master's in library science. You don't. That's hogwash. That makes no sense.
Nope.
It
sounds to me you could round up half these people that are here and just have them come volunteer a day. Give them a stack of stickers and put some coffee in a corner and some reading chairs and let them go.
And while we've been trying to figure out how to do this, it's not like we haven't spent a lot of time. So we've actually looked at what kind of systems have been used in other states, what has went well legally when people have been sued. So we are representing the finances of the library, and we don't want to waste money on that. And then I still represent people who did not vote for me and who do want these books.
Sure.
And so I am not ever going to remove them. I'm going to always try to be,
I don't think anybody is hinted at removing them. I am appalled by them, but I don't even think they should be removed. I'd like a buzzer on the kiosk if a kid tries to write it. That would be my next step, but I don't think I go any farther than that. That still creeps me out. There's a library board meeting on Thursday. This brings awareness to it. Someone tuning in may not even know that these books are in the children's section. Oh, they do now. I showed a copy. Let's see. Strong women are badass. Thank you, Hank. All right. I'll be rolling into the board meeting in my wheelchair with a broken leg because I care about my kids and this is important to me. People have to speak up and do their research. That is absolutely true. Why are we even buying these books in the first place? Some of them are literally child porn. Yes, they are. Use common sense. There's no excuse not to have these labeled.
You know what's interesting too, which just labeling and moving books is part of the issue. Another thing is that the collection, which is collection development, is part of the responsibility to make policies regarding that. As trustees, the collection is not balanced. The collection is not balanced. There are many, many, many books being ordered that are way far left progressive. Currently, or actually not currently because we changed it, the books, everybody talks about books being banned. We found out, not because they did it on purpose, but if a patron would come in and they'd say, I want Cromaine to order this book. Can you please order this book for me? The people that were in the different sections would have to go look and see if it was actually not assessed like by some kind of group to see if it was like a literary book that was good. They should, I forget I'm not thinking of the word right now, but they'd have to look and see if it had a review. They'd have to say, oh, has it been reviewed? Right. Because if it's been reviewed, then it makes sense to buy it because it can be part of the collection and they're trying to spend the money appropriately.
Correct.
So what books do you think aren't reviewed? Conservative books. So the only books that were actually being banned by not being ordered from the Cromaine District Library were conservative books. So I'm so sick about hearing about book bans
Right.
And I don't know if that's happening in other libraries as well, because most of the review places are, because of the way the colleges are and the way everything's become far left, those reviews are left-wing reviews. So the books that aren't being ordered because they haven't been reviewed are conservative books. So those were the books that were being banned. Our director is very good. I had this conversation with her. It probably had not occurred to her. So now she's telling the employees, we get they haven't been reviewed, but there's not a place that's going to review them. You need to order them anyway. So if people that are progressive, they don't even realize that they're having a bias. They don't even know when they're doing it.
Wow. Mark Ashley Price, thank you to all three of you ladies for being involved in local politics and local office. We got to know firsthand that local politics and local office are very important. Thank you, Mark. Stop protecting the adults over the children. Tiffany will volunteer. Just wheel her butt over in the corner. Just give her stickers and some of that in a Diet Coke. Okay, there we go. Deb wants sirens in the quiet library. I'm joking. That's funny. Okay, we'll settle for flashing lights. Something that makes the kid feel like no, I can't do this. Run, drop it, and run. That's just fine.
I'm going to counter that. But if it's, again, it would be okay, and it's okay if they do check those out. Okay.
It is a matter of the word is legal. The word is subjective.
The word is it's legal if they were to check them out.
It is.
So that's and
but it's to me it shouldn't be. You cannot go get it. You cannot go get go pick up that same child goes to a drugstore, tries to pick out a penthouse, and they're told no.
Correct.
That's just I mean, where is anyway, back to whoever's question that was. No, Republican legislature coming to you. And it's, like I said, I don't support banning books either. I support age appropriateness, just as we were talking, but I also support enforcing that. So, but I mean, as far as the parents go, I think you made a point earlier that, whether they're Democrat or Republicans, they're parents. And I think that's why the Republicans, had the big red wave here, because the Democrats went so far. And if you think about it, you might be a Democrat and you might want a lot of things, but if your daughter is coming home crying because there was a boy in the bathroom, or the boy in her locker room, or any of this stuff going on, you stop thinking about politics and you start thinking about parenting, and that's terrific. But what scares me is the parents that don't. Right. They don't think about being a parent. They know this stuff's going on. Well, it's it's okay, and somehow they figured out it's okay, and they're supporting the fact that that teachers can help a child, change their name and do all the other transforming without telling them or without getting permission, without even informing them. I'm still waiting for the video, but there was a video out there about how to lie to parents about the kids. And I'm waiting for that. Somebody's looking for it. Reality, it's not the library's job to helicopter children, correct? But at least it's labeled for age appropriateness and least accessible. Parents do need to be responsible. Well, good luck with that one.
I want to comment on that too, with responsible parents as well. It's very sad as to what happened for a group, a local group, for the amount of irritation that they've caused in the area as well. And when you put certain things in front of a church, in front of children as well, and that wasn't.
The penis. I said what it was. We had a thing on it. That was they protested over the library because the pastor was the president at the time, and this group decided to protest on a Sunday at the pastor's church. And one of the things they did was put up a big 4-foot inflatable penis, and they I remember somebody was commenting and they said it wasn't ours, and I said, oh yes, somebody just drove by with an inflatable penis in the back seat or in the trunk and decided there's the spot for it right here, put it up, Bob's your uncle, there we go. That's, come on, pull the other one.
There's that's another thing that's really bothersome too, that you'll notice is people feel like it's okay to attack people because they have a religion and have a faith. And that is so wrong. I hear that. I hear people talking about people being religious, asking us when we were look at law firms to represent us, like, do they have a religious affiliation? You have freedom of religion in the United States, and you're allowed to have a faith. And it is very disheartening to me that people think that they can just attack people because they have faith. It's just preposterous to me. I don't understand it. I'm personally not a person that goes to church all the time. I have my faith. But the fact that people get attacked because they do is just so morally wrong. And I just can't understand why people think they're in the right to do that. You know, their excuse is like, well, it's separation of church and state.
Separation does not mean what people think it means. It doesn't. It does not mean that you cannot combine the two. It means church cannot tell state what to do, and state cannot tell church what to do.
Correct.
But they can agree on something and move along just quite in harmony.
And people shouldn't be attacked for the religion.
No.
They should not.
Karen says there has to be a current law in the books about presenting sexual material to children. Well, interestingly enough, I did dig into that, and I looked. And again, the problem is, there's so many different loops that they're not connected, and they need a border. If you get a border around them, it's going to work. But if there's a graphic, then it's not really porn, or if it's not really porn, and it's got so many definitions. There's really no definition to what porn is. Remember the old joke? There's no we can't. We'll know it when we see it. But that's what it is. It has to be defined. And what's going on here? My There we go. Pardon me while I mess with my batteries here. My battery. And we're back. My battery died in this thing, and everything went. So, okay, we have, I have to go, ladies, but thank you so much for speaking. Tiffany, good seeing you. Thursday, she'll be there, and she'll be in the wheelchair. Go say hi to her. So let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Right here. Sage. Yes, that was the group that did that. All right, so we've got everything pretty much covered. So, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you two are fighting. As I said, the fact that we even have to fight now is blows my mind. We should not be having to fight. We should not have to do that. Like I said, 10 years ago, someone would have said we were fighting about this. I would have laughed.
Right.
Never in my life did I ever think we would be fighting about this, but.
Agree.
Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Heartland Cromine Library. Is that where your meetings are?
Correct.
And is it once a month or is it every other week?
Once a month.
Once a month.
Third
Okay.
Thursday in the month.
So go ahead.
The biggest thing I would say in general for this is just like, again, I have to go back to that. It's just like, who would have thought little libraries would have such a, impact here in the area? And I would encourage you not just to go to Cromine meetings, go to the other meetings, see what's going on locally in your area as well. Some people might be just fine with it too. It's just Cromine's going through something different with this particular book challenge, and that's what we're faced with. So
right.
But I would encourage you to attend a meeting and really dig into it, watch past meetings online, give you a better feel for what's going on.
Okay. Well, I thank you too for fighting the good fight. I know that it's not always easy to stand up for what you believe in, but and lots of elected officials don't once they get elected. So I absolutely applaud both of you. Kim Armstrong, thanks ladies for bringing light to a very important topic. I agree, Kim. This is a very important topic, and I don't see podcasts on this issue at all. I don't see anything on it. So the fact that you guys are really standing up for it is admirable, and it's wonderful. So anybody that can stand up and help speak, because here's what's coming. It'll be the long line of Democrats and liberals up there, and they're stop banning our books, stop telling my child what to read. I saw one lady say, I'm homosexual and I feel safe here, and now you're making it unsafe for me.
Why?
Why? With
How?
stickers?
How?
Do they say everybody point at her and laugh, or him, or whatever? I don't know. That this does not work. It does not compute. So that's what they hear. So it would really be good to have people stand up and say, hey, thank you for looking out for our kids. So I'll say that on behalf of all the idiots that, aren't going to say that. Thank you for looking out for our kids. Thank you for making sure thank you for standing up for age appropriateness. Thank you for standing up for just separate the stuff a little bit and help weed that out. Thank you for not robbing children of their childhood. And I think that's a statement that needs to be said more often. Once a child starts thinking in the terms of sex, whether it's their own or else, they start losing their childhood. Suddenly, that's what's important. That's when things start cooking in their heads, and they stop thinking about being a ballerina or playing with Barbies. They think about doing, about other parts, and it that changes things for them. Stop robbing children of their childhood. I just wish I could fight with Democrats all day long, and I could disagree with Democrats all day long and be fine. I would have a much better time if Republicans and Democrats all agreed, let's leave our kids alone.
Right.
You want to go after taxes, you want to go after any kind of rights in, whether it's guns or whatever rights. Let's go after that. Let's battle those things out like adults. Leave the kids alone. Just leave the kids alone. If we could all agree on that, this world would be better by 150%. Just leave the kids out of everything. And I don't know if they're starting them that way I don't know, because then their beliefs, they feel only liberals will accept them, because I don't know. I don't know.
It's very confusing
scary
to me too, because the people that are super progressive, they think that all LGBT people, that they agree with them about this. They don't realize that there are actually people that are gay that also think this is awful.
They do.
This is not a partisan issue. This is a parent issue.
It is.
So it's bizarre to me that they think that everybody agrees with them and that they're doing the right thing, because they're really not.
No,
they're really not.
No.
It's not an issue of just the gay books. It's
No.
the sexually
Right.
explicit
Sex,
books.
Exactly.
straight
Okay,
sex,
so
gay
it's-
sex,
right,
any
correct,
sex.
correct.
Leave it away from the kids.
Right.
It's like,
Yes.
If you as an adult, you're into gay sex, go read about it.
yeah.
Wahoo. Nobody's got
Right.
no
Yeah.
sirens for you.
Right.
If you're into straight sex, go read about it.
Go.
No sirens for you
Right.
either. But just leave the friggin' kids
Right,
alone.
It makes no sense. It's
Right.
like progressive people think that that's all
Oh my
that all
God.
people think about. It's crazy. It makes no sense to me. People are not one dimensional.
No,
You
Gays
know,
Against Groomers is a fantastic group.
Exactly.
Who knew that would exist? But okay,
Yep.
whatever. It's
Absolutely,
like I
yeah.
said, I don't care what if it's
Right.
legal and consensual.
Yep.
I don't care. It's
Yes.
it's up to you. You wanna
Yep.
how you dress yourself and how you
Whatever.
conduct yourself and what happens under those sheets. That's up to you. That is your privacy. When it's legal and consensual, under the age of 18, it should not be. Especially under the age of like 14.
Right.
Stop, people, stop with these kid things. So, ladies, again, thank you so much for coming. You guys stick around, and we'll be right back. I got to talk about a couple things coming up, and then we'll wrap up shortly. So let me just get to a commercial here, and we'll be back in a minute.
Welcome to The Right Side. And with me now is the brand new 7th District Chair, District 3, Livingston County Commissioner, Frank Sample. So welcome, Frank.
You're very active in the American Legion.
Correct.
You're very active in the VFWs. This ideology is very damaging to the students who are told, if you get this surgery and make do the social transition, the medical transition, then you'll be happy and all your problems will be
Yes,
solved. Learned so much.
I'll bet. That's some institutional knowledge right there.
And we have, as a special guest, as I said earlier, we have Kevin Rinke with us. Welcome, Kevin. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Go Vogue. Thanks, Kelly. There are those everywhere. We love meeting new people.
It's in good shape, so that's good news.
That safeness is not afforded to every citizen. They are
Agreed.
special.
There's a difference between men and women. There's a biological
Sure.
difference, and it's time for us to stand up for our girls.
He went through and he came back with a report said there's no way Detroit can meet its obligations on the tax base.
Yes.
So is this DEI focused just on the high school, or are they talking about all
District, the
whole
entire district.
Maybe that's kind of normal. It's really not. There tends to be little fiefdoms with, different police agencies and police versus fire and fire versus EMS and blah, blah, blah. That's not the case here. So Livingston County is very fortunate.
Hey, not too long ago, in many of our lifetimes, Detroit was the third largest city in America.
Oh, yeah.
3.2 million citizens.
It's been a great experience. I mean, I have no regrets about moving here.
There's an old saying that the road will get you elected, the jail will get you unelected. So, to give you an idea.
You have to have a reason to change for change to be enacted.
I'm an attorney who goes to work every day to fight for our community and defend our Constitution. My name is Christina Like, and now I want to be your next circuit court judge. And that means ensuring our constitutional rights are protected, protecting the innocent lives of our children, making decisions based upon rule of law and not politics, making court more affordable, and always placing the people first.
All rise for this week's Judicial Minute with Christopher Candela.
Hi everyone, I'm Christopher Candela, and I'm running to be your next circuit court judge here in Livingston County. As an avid outdoorsman, this week we're talking about major changes to Michigan's hunting laws, recently approved by the Michigan Natural Resources Commission. Starting this year, the limited firearm zone is gone. Hunters in the Lower Peninsula can now use legal rifles, including bottleneck cartridges, statewide during the firearm season. Then in 2027, the new one buck rule takes effect, limiting most hunters to 1 buck per season. A pilot Earn a Buck program may also allow some hunters to harvest a second buck with 4 points or more. For a full breakdown, visit the news and events section on my website at CandelaForJudge.com. And remember, vote Candela for Circuit Court Judge in the August 4th primary.
Tune in next week for another Judicial Minute with Christopher Candela.
Here I am. I was going to do the lead in, but you came back faster than I did. So, couple things. Just want to once again talk about, what we really need for this problem, for Brian's problem, for every problem is we need more Republican voters. We need people to get to the polls. Now, I've talked about 10X before. I've had Lance Griffin on my show. 10X is an amazing program, and it's basically knocking doors only from your living room in your bunny slippers with only people that you know. You get an app, or you go onto a site. It's not even an app. You go onto a site and you type it. You fill out a form. You get your it tells you a map. It gives you a map. You can look up people. It identifies Republicans who vote Republican but don't vote often. And you look at you can look in your neighborhood. And it'll show you little red dots. You check on them. Oh, I know that person. I'm going to call them. I started doing that last week. I was shocked. And the whole goal is not to get in their business and tell them how to vote or anything else, but just to basically say, we're really trying to get out to vote. Michigan is in trouble. We really, really need everybody voting this year. Don't even have to tell them to vote Republican. Even, I mean, if you know them really well and they're really solid Republicans, you can say, we need every Republican vote, right? But it is you basically tell them that we really need their vote. And did you know that you can sign up for a permanent absentee ballot, a mail-in ballot that will be sent to you for every election? You never have to leave your living room. You get it, you fill it out, you send it back. I made some calls over the weekend. I went to Friday, a little shout out to Kent County GOP. I went to their Lincoln Day dinner, and on the way there, I made calls to people and kind of basically said there is please sign up, and I told them I would send them a link. So this is the easiest thing in the world. Every other Sunday at 7:30, I do a Zoom meeting on 10X votes. Okay, this is it right here. This is the flyer, and you can see the Zoom link on the bottom there. As soon as that little, there it is. You see the Zoom link on the bottom. That is where you can go to that link, and it's about a 20 to 25 minutes. I think the last one I did was 22 minutes. It is easy. It works. You talk to people you know. You don't have to talk to strangers. You don't have to walk. I mean, you can if you want to go to these, knock on the door of the people that you see and you want to talk to them, that's fine. The good news is you already know they've been identified as Republican. So you don't have to worry about, I don't know if I'm going here. You also already know the person. We're not asking you to knock any doors at strangers or to call anybody that's a stranger. You look, you recognize a name, you call them and you say, or you can text them and say, here's a link to the mail-in ballot, and you sign up here and you will have the ballot mailed to you forever, ever. And, Lance says the data there says that if everybody did this, we would never lose another election again. That really poked me in the eyeball right there. We really need to get off our butts. So anyway, there's the Zoom link on the bottom. Every other Sunday at 7:30, just sign into you don't have to register, just sign in, and we'll go through the 10X process. We'll help you set up an account. There's no credit card, there's no social security number, you don't need any of that stuff. You just sign up and it'll take you have to turn on your GPS, I guess. So it'll tell you where you are, and you'll get a little it's a website, so it's not even an app. You don't have to download anything. So anyway, just sign up for the app and you read it off and you do it. So every other Sunday, 7:30, take a screenshot of that Zoom link and show up, or you can go to Livingston County Republican Party. This will be posted again, so it'll be a great tool. There's terrific ways to knock doors, and people are knocking doors for Brian. That's great, but if you're not a door knocker, we understand that. But this is something you can do. And most important, this is how I end that little training. This is not for everybody else to do. We all have to do this. We all have to do something. And, I hear people say, yeah, I'd love to help, but I just don't knock doors. That's not me. Get it. Is calling somebody you already know you? Can you call somebody and say, hey, can I send you a link to sign up for a absentee ballot that you'll automatically never, ever, ever have to worry about voting again? Every single election, ever, forever, as long as you live in that spot, will come to you. You mail it, you fill it out, mail it back. And then I tell them, I will never tell you how to vote or have anything, but there isn't a candidate in the state that I don't know. So if you do, or in the county anyway, if you do want some suggestions, you can call me. I can tell you anything that you want to know. So anyway, that's all you do. So I'll walk you through how to do it. It's very, very simple. So that is this Sunday, and then every other Sunday after that. Again, we're back at the July 9th or July 10th. No, June 10th. June 10th is the Brian Ignatowski event. So, do we have a fourth Sunday? Don't go away. Oh yes, Aubrey's. The fourth Thursday. Gosh, look at me. Sorry. Let me just get out my calendar here to get the date. The fourth Thursday, I don't have the thing, I'll have to put that on next week. The fourth Thursday of this month is 7th, 14th, 20th, so May 28th it looks like. It's in Aubrey's, between Brighton and Howell there, Aubrey's Pizzeria, and they've got all kinds of good food there too. So that's at 6 o'clock for dinner, and if you want to come just to have a beverage or something, come at 7, or you can come at 6 too, either way, but we just sit. All right, so here we got. We're back on library stuff here. If a parent finds materials provided their child from the library could or should be held liable. Well, the problem is, Karen, it's legal, so there's nothing anybody can do about it. Madam Chair, is Chris Long your favorite current vice chair of the Michigan Republican Party? I asked because he's funny. I think he's the funniest, that's for sure. I like Chris a lot. I do enjoy having Chris on here. I haven't had him on here for a while, so it's probably time to bring him back. He's got some interesting things to say. I gotta say, Chris is doing a campaign right now, an anti-Duggan campaign, Mike Duggan, and it is phenomenal. He is bringing up he is saying everything that needs to be said. Mike Duggan, people think he's running as an independent, and again, it's that same thing with nonpartisan. Well, you're not a Republican or not. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's just that the political atmosphere was questionable, so he went to as an independent. So he thinking he could get some more Republican votes out of that, and he kind of is. But the world's most successful mayor, or whatever as he calls himself, that is not true. And Chris Long has got a little video that points out exactly what Mike has done in Detroit and what he'll do to. I mean, it'd be just as bad in Michigan. So if you haven't seen his video on Mike Duggan, go look at it. It's a good one. It's absolutely perfect. So, all right, well, that's that. I don't think I'm probably forgetting something, but that's just how it goes. So we will see you next Tuesday. We have Kevin Rinke coming back. He was on here about a year ago, and we had great ratings and great conversation. There's never a dull moment when it comes to Kevin, so I'm really looking forward to bringing him back. Kevin, I reached out to Kevin because he did a post on education and how education is just tanking in Michigan, and we need school board members and we need community members, and what can we do to stand up to these failing schools? And so I just thought this is a good statement right now, because we've got two candidates running for the Michigan State School the Board of Education board, and if those two win, they take away the Democrat majority, and it becomes tied, but at least no more. I mean, you can't undo anything, but there's going to be no more stupid stuff happening. So that's the good news. I just feel like Kevin has got a lot of information on this, so he's going to bring his ideas about what we need to do to fix education in Michigan. So we're going to call it a night. Come back next week for Kevin. I think, there's, like I said, no dull moments when it comes to Kevin. I enjoy having him here. So thanks again to Caleb for stepping in and helping out with what we're doing here. So everybody have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.